Week 2 of Defiance. The Shadow Legion are up to something in old Russia. Last week we were in the European Deadzone, but things are eerily quiet in the Cosmodrome to start. This week's quest gives us some spicy interactions as tension between the Shadow Legion begins to brew. Amanda snapping at Queen Mara, Crow's shooting competition, and a wholesome conversation between Mithrax and Devrim. This week's story begins at the helm, where we get a message from Amanda Holliday. She thanks us for rescuing her and the other civilians last week and explains how they want to help in this fight. Yes, we are the almighty space magic wielding warrior. Meanwhile, the people of Earth, these mortal humans, want to do anything they can to assist, to save their homes.
Hey Guardian, been meaning to thank you for busting us all out of prison earlier. I heard you came back from Neptune just to help us out. It's near enough to make a girl tear up. You want to know what really got to me? At the farm, I heard some of the folks I was locked up with asking when they could get back out and look for more survivors. I mean, I expected from Guardians and the other pilots, but these were civvies, just folks who got caught up in the Shadow Legion sweep. I still wanted to help. I asked Mithrax to talk some sense into him, but he shrugged like 3 of his arms and said, "The witness created heroes instead of victims." I couldn't have said it better myself. Anyway, Shadow Legion's been sighted in the Cosmodrome, probably trying to pick up new prisoners. Come on, let's go be heroes.
Last week, the Shadow Legion were taking humans to the pyramid in the EDZ. There are still some questions as to what they were after. Why not just kill the humans? Why keep them prisoner here? Was it to lure the Guardians in like the Witness did in the campaign, or for some other reason? Regardless, the fight continues this week in the Russian Cosmodrome, where another ship has touched down in the waters near the Forgotten Shore. Amanda has us investigate. As we begin to fight some small Cabal groups, Devrim and Crow speak how this is too easy compared to last week's incursion. We kill a couple of enemies to start and easily enter the Ascendant realm.
The Guardian is on approach to the Pyramid outpost now. No major troop movements to report. Something's up.
I agree. The Shadow Legion invested heavily in fortifying the EDZ. But it's quite a trustful church mouse out here.
I don't like it. Stay sharp, Guardian.
Why does the Ascendant plane look like a half-finished puzzle? Got bits and pieces, but nothing seems whole.
That realm is more mutable than our plane, and in constant flux. Every time the Witness alters it, unpredictable manifestations appear elsewhere.
Oh, like ripples on a pond. I get it.
So that line was really cool to hear. We've been to this place so many times, sometimes I forget the overall connection to the darkness. We've seen the Witness allow Zivu to move her forces through here back in Season of the Lost, and now mentions of how the Witness actually shapes this place, more of how it works. The reason things were so quiet at the start is revealed. The Cabal were just sitting here waiting for us, setting up an ambush.
It's strange that the pyramid appears perfectly identical in reality and the Ascendant plane. All else seems a bit scattered.
Both are expressions of the darkness, aligned perfectly to the will of the Witness.
I know a lot of folks feel different, but I still don't trust anyone using the darkness. Even for good. No offense, Queen Mara.
Damn. It's an ambush. How did they locate our portal so quickly?
Hardly matters now. Keep a lookout for traps and push through, Guardian.
Inside the pyramid, after getting sent back to the Ascendant realm by the Scion boss multiple times, we fight forward, light balefires, and expel the remaining Shadow Legion forces and leader Scion. The prisoners are freed.
Your assistance has been invaluable, Holiday. But the Guardian and I are sufficient for what lies ahead. I suggest you recuse yourself from further combat for your own safety.
With all due respect, Your Highness, you can stick that right up your distributary. It ain't Guardians being snatched up by the Shadow Legion. It's ordinary folks like Devrim and me. I'm in this fight till all our people are safe. End of story.
Your spirit is commendable, if ill-tempered. You remind me of Petra. I shall advise you no further.
So Amanda got pretty heated there. Like the civilians she mentioned at the start of this week, she is not going to listen to Mara. Amanda will stay and fight for her home and non-Guardians alike. This really hits home for them and shows the importance of characters like Devrim and Amanda in this season's story. This is why they are here. Back at the farm, Devrim speaks to us at the holo projector about this very train of thought.
Hello, Guardian. Though I suppose I should hail you as a fellow Queensguard now. When Mara performed her ritual, she knighted all of us, with and without the light. You light-bearers are the only ones who can draw on her power, of course. But for the rest of us, like Ms. Holliday and Mr. Mithrax, it's nice to be included. Sir Devrim K, Queensguard. Quite like the sound of that. I think when the Witness did whatever it did to the Traveler, it sought to destroy our hope at the source. That didn't happen. Humans and Elixni, officers and civilians, we banded together, stronger than before. That's what our enemies don't understand. When things are at their worst, that's when we are at our best. I'm looking forward to the battles ahead.
Next, we have a terminal between Devrim and Mithrax. They speak about how they were once enemies but fight for their own cause, a connection they each share.
Devrim, I had heard of you before our first meeting.
Oh? Good things, I hope.
There is much good, but you were feared as well.
If my reputation is for keeping the people of the EDZ safe, then I don't regret it. But I hope we can work alongside one another now.
We have one life, and our lives are not for us alone. Mine is for my daughter, and my house. Yours is for your partner and your people. We share much.
Outside the city, we can't always depend on the Guardians. And the Traveler has been somewhat inscrutable.
I once believed that the Great Machine had brought the light to Reese and to the Guardians because they were worthy of it. Then I questioned this understanding. My belief became hollow. I felt a great loss. But I have found new purpose. There is worth in our actions and in our spirit. It is in how we use our one life. We must let that be our light.
Our people protect one another and do what they must to ensure their safety. Now we can do so for each other, human and Elixni.
Yes. I do not know the Great Machine's will, but the light provides.
It does.
Each week normally comes with a lore entry after you finish the main quest. Sometimes I don't read them as they don't pertain to the main story of the season, but this week's has a nice little story that I thought you'd enjoy. Crow and Devrim are having a shooting competition in the EDZ with their guns. Crow begins to speak about Aldrin, and the two bond over this experience, calling themselves Sir, as they are Queensguard now. Crow sighed. "You ever going to fire that thing?" The crack of a sniper round rattled off the tree line. Crow squinted at the small sapling he'd pointed out as a target. Devrim's shot had split it in half. "Nice shot," Clint said cheerfully. Devrim gave the ghost a polite nod. Crow rolled his eyes. "All right," Crow said, ignoring Devrim's amused smile. "One more for you." The two of them had agreed on this rocky plateau for their little competition. They began with makeshift target dummies posted out at various distances. When that quickly became monotonous, Glint helpfully agreed to transmat the targets into the air. Eventually, they simply started calling out challenges to each other. Devrim took ages to line up his shots, but he hadn't missed yet. The man was frustratingly efficient. Devrim stepped down from the boulder he was using as a perch. "I don't know that you're the best marksman," Devrim said, "but you make a fine spotter." "Ouch," Crow grinned. "Try to pick something difficult this time, old-timer." Crow crouched into a firing position, bracing his rifle against his shoulder. He heard footfalls in the gravel nearby and felt at once that peculiar sensation of stepping sidelong into an old recollection. The past superimposed itself over the present like a veil, another hillside, another target. Crow glanced aside to find Devrim watching him silently, patiently. If Crow decided not to explain, he suspected Devrim wouldn't say a word about it. They could just get on with the game. "In my past life, I had a friend who could give us both a run for our money. We did this sort of thing all the time." Crow smiled to himself. "I think I missed it." "I didn't think Prince Aldrin had many friends," Devrim said. "But then again, you're not terrible company at present, so I suppose it follows." Crow let out a startled laugh. "As compliments go, I'll take it." Devrim turned away to face the rocky slope. "There's a house dust symbol on that scrap of metal out there, just shy of the old transmission tower." Crow thought for a moment. "First one to land 3 shots gets 2 points? Playing to your strengths, Sir Crow?" Devrim was already lining up his sights. "Just keeping things fun, Sir K." So there's a nice new interaction between these two characters. They're bonding over this competition game and call each other Sir K and Sir Crow as Mara knighted them Queen's Guard last week along with us. But that's all we got for this week's story. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it and where you think the Shadow Legion are going from here. Why are they taking humans prisoner and not killing them? Is it to lure our Guardian in, or for some other reason? If you'd like to see some more Destiny lore and mysteries just like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching and I'll catch you all in the next video.